welcome to my channel Connected, and I'm here with you guys again with another topic, another nice day. So I chose a topic that is a bit of fun-filled topic, but still you need to be careful about. So I went to Ladakh recently, and I understood that there are like a lot of things that you should be careful about. So I just thought I would list down all the things that you need to take care about so that you have a wonderful trip if you're planning to go this year or the upcoming years. I mean, the best time to go to Ladakh is from June until September, because that time the weather is suitable. But even after the weather being suitable, there are certain types of precautions or things that we need to definitely carry and be so that we don't fall into unnecessary healthcare issues or altitude sickness, etc. So a few things. So I have just bucketed down everything into lists. First thing, very important thing, is skincare and sanitary products. So what is skincare? So at this high altitude of 4,000, 5,000 meters, the sun rays are more direct, the UV radiations are more impactful. So it's important that we carry a sunscreen which is greater than SPF 50. And also because the distances between the two destinations are generally more than 5 to 6 hours. So for example, when we traveled from say Nubra to Pangong, it was more than 7 hours of journey, and the kind of toilets etc are okay. So it's good to keep toiletries such as toilet papers etc or any intimate wipes etc with you, and also have proper sanitary care products because it's not easy to find it out between travels. So it's very important that we carry it with ourselves. So that's one. Secondly, from a skincare perspective, not only the sunscreen but proper moisturizers, lip balms are very important, because your skin tends to dehydrate at such an altitude with such amount of radiations around. So it's very important to keep yourself properly hydrated with water, plus having ample amount of moisturizers on your skin so that you're protected and you don't feel the dryness in your skin and it doesn't get impacted. So that's the first thing. Second bucket that I chose is about the clothes and the footwear. So clothes, see, the weather there is slightly unpredictable. So at one location we did have like a very hot weather. It was completely impossible to wear a jacket there. And then again when we traveled to Pangong, it was freezing cold. So it's very important that we do layering. So just put 2 to 3 layers of clothes so that you can quickly take off any of the pieces according to the weather change. So layering is very important. And from footwear perspective, because it's sandy, it is, if you are trekking specifically, it's very important to have sports shoes or sneakers etc so that you do not fall. We definitely could not wear anything that was open because of the sand and the dust etc. So it's very important that something you carry something that is covered. Then third important piece is medication. Medication should be of two types. One is your basic first aid kit, which would include your band-aids or normal things that we generally carry. Then second thing which is important while going to such high altitudes is medication which helps to cope up with the altitude sickness. So Diamox is one of the medications that was prescribed to us by the locals there and with the travel agency that we were traveling with. So even if you do not take it, like we did not take it at the end, but we did carry it with ourselves because there has been cases where people could not breathe and could not, at that altitude, they were feeling suffocated and they were just not comfortable with the oxygen levels. So it's very important to carry Dimox with you. Just carry it, even if you don't take it, just carry it. So that's another part. And as I was mentioning about the oxygen, so in Ladakh the oxygen levels drop. So that's why the government has a regulation that when you land in Leh, you have to stay there for 2 days to acclimatize. Because if you measure your oxygen generally in any part of where you are staying, it should be within 96 to 98, right, the SpO2. But when you land in Ladakh, it drops significantly, so it would be between 85 to 90, and your body needs to understand that kind of a change. So that's why you stay 2 days in Leh. And once you start moving up, it would significantly keep dropping. So it's very important to take a portable oxygen can with you, so that if you feel at any point of time that your breath pumps of that oxygen, and then you should be feeling better. Because similarly, as I mentioned, as we were moving higher up the altitude, when we went to say the topmost point, which is Khardungla, our SpO2 dropped to around 68, which started to make us slightly breathless, and all of us made sure that we just take 2 pumps so that we don't feel that anxiety of and you do not and cannot stay there for more than 15 minutes, because then the less amount of oxygen starts to hamper your brain activity. So it's very important to carry oxygen can, and also the oxygen measuring device that we use, and we all must be having it after COVID. So just to be on the safe side, just carry one of those. Section or piece is eatables and water. So to maintain correct glucose levels and sugar content in your body, it is very important to have chocolates or snacks at a regular interval, so that your blood pressure doesn't fluctuate or is maintained at a certain level, because again, as I mentioned, so the blood pressures can drop in very significantly because of low oxygen, etc. So keep yourself hydrated, so have sips of water continuously to keep that body hydrated, keep the body keep the blood pressure levels correct, and have good amount of chocolates and something that has sugar, fruits, chocolates, so that so I did carry. I knew that the prepaid SIM cards won't work in Leh and Ladakh because of you might be knowing because of military restrictions, etc. So it's the postpaid SIM cards that you need to carry. First, and the 2 main operators that work on postpaid are BSNL and Airtel. So I had BSNL while my friend had Airtel, and from experience, it's better to carry Airtel than BSNL, because BSNL was still giving me issues, service issues throughout, but Airtel was significantly better with a very good coverage and internet speed. So if you prefer to carry Airtel postpaid SIM card, that would be helpful, because prepaid is definitely not going to work. After that, electronics. In electronics, I think the major part is the power bank, because during nights there are light cutouts. So when we were in Pangong, we did not have electricity there at all. So it's good to have power banks to charge. That's why it's good to have the power banks charged when you go specifically up to Pangong. Nubra was fine because there was electricity during the day, but it was going off during the night, so it's still better. But yeah, for Pangong, definitely have power banks charged with you. Backpacks. Who are trekking would already know the importance of having backpacks, but because we were not specifically there for trekking, but we understood how important it is to have like small backpacks, because to put in all the medication, the water bottles, the snacks, etc. And even if you're going like to a 2 hour or 3 hour drive, wherein you won't leave your hotel, it's very important that you have a backpack of specific size which is easy to carry with you, and then you can have all your stuff in, because without that it would have been very difficult to carry all these essentials that I'm talking about at the moment. So you have to have your oxygen can all the time, you have to have your medication all the time, you have to have your eatables, water all the time, and you also need some space to keep your jackets. If it's very hot, you just need to get that off. So just make sure that you have like a good handy handbag of medium size that can carry all of this. So yeah, that is like a good list, just to be cautious about the things that you might face there, are your oxygen levels, your altitude sickness, your blood pressure levels. So these are the 3 things from a health perspective that you need to understand, that important. But otherwise, to be very frank, Ladakh was like one of the best trips I have ever had in my life, and I would definitely be covering what are the places that we went through, what was the speciality there, what was different from from the places that we travel in general, why everyone should definitely visit Ladakh once in their lifetime. So that's it from me. Thank you for hearing. If you like the video, do subscribe and like, because I'm going to make further search videos which are informative, which are fun, about travel, so that you get to know more.